All right, what up? It's Leonidas here, and in this tutorial, we're going to focus on designing a landing page like this, specifically geared towards generating phone calls for our business. Now, I'll scroll down in a moment just to show you everything else that's in this landing page, but for the most part, when we click on this call button, it will open up our call function, whether it's on our phone or whether it's on desktop. So when we select schedule an appointment and we enter our information, and our phone number, you can see that the system automatically dials our number, and then we're automatically connected to an agent on the back end. As well, if we go into our text messages, and here's the example of the text message that you'll receive within a few minutes of entering our phone number. So, need solar help. If you missed our call, make sure to call us back. Here's the phone number that they can dial if they want to. And then the hours of operation, and as well the rest of the message. So this message they'll typically receive within 5 minutes of dialing our phone number. And if they miss our call, they can go ahead and call us back. Let's go ahead and scroll down. So once again, we have scheduled an appointment and the phone number. And then we have a bunch of text highlighting the benefits of our business. As well, we have the form once more. They can enter their information once more. And we can see that we have the Mexico City. It geolocates the city that I'm currently in. So we can see that Mexico City. But of course, if you were in New York, then this will populate with New York City. And we'll continue scrolling down. More text just to sell our features for the business. And then we have a couple of the typical as seen on. And then we'll continue scrolling down. And then at the very end, we have our privacy policy and terms and conditions. And when we click on the privacy policy, it will pop up the privacy policy, so we don't have to go to a new page, and then the terms and conditions as well. So this is all compliant with Google because these pages do exist. So let's go ahead and show you how to make this specific landing page. So once again, we'll be building a WordPress landing page for generating phone calls. And once again, my name is Leonidas from the ppcbasic.com, as well as the Leonidas Marketing blog. And let's go ahead and break down what we're going to learn in this tutorial. I'm going to show you the benefits and limitations of a call lead gen landing page. Then I'm going to once again cover really quickly the landing page that we're going to create. And in this case, we're going to use OptimizePress to design the landing page to make it nice and beautiful for our visitors. And then I'm going to explain to you once again the sections that we have on the landing page itself. I've already covered the automated lead gen callback function. So that's when you enter your phone number into the system, then the system automatically ends up calling you back. Now, this will not be included in this tutorial. This will be an advanced video that you can access from ppcbasic.com, advanced training. And then after all this, we're going to go ahead and set up really quickly our WordPress site on Cloudways. So it just involves a couple clicks to create the website itself. And then we're going to set up the WordPress site on Cloudways, which just involves a couple clicks. But of course, you can use any WordPress site that you have to implement this landing page design. And then we're going to install and set up OptimizePress on our landing page. We're going to go ahead and start building the lander as we saw. And then we're going to build out the sections once more. And then I'm going to explain to you how to source the content for the landing page itself. So you can either use Facebook, Google, or whatever other source to produce your original content. And then we're going to quickly set up the privacy policy and the terms and conditions pop-ups within our landing page. We're going to double check everything. And then I'm going to explain to you the bot protection that I use in order to prevent bots from entering our website and entering fake information or clicking on our call function. But at the same time, we're able to allow the good bots, such as from Google or Microsoft, to enter our website. And then I'm also going to explain to you how to use the same strategy in order to protect your landing page from being spied on by other affiliate marketers if you are in the affiliate marketing space. And then once again, a review. So the benefits of landing pages for caller lead generation is that you'll be able to get free search engine optimized traffic coming your way. So that means traffic from Google or Microsoft. As well, we'll be able to capture desktop and tablet leads coming to our website. So unlike call only advertising on Google Ads or Microsoft Ads, in this case, you need someone to actually enter the information on your landing page in order for the system to call them back, or when they land on your landing page, then they actually end up picking up their phone and dialing the number that they see on your landing page. And then ultimately you'll be developing an authority website within your niche, which ends up getting more free SEO traffic coming to your website. Now, the limitations of a landing page for caller lead generation is that mobile call-only ads on Google Ads or Microsoft Ads will inherently convert 30 to 70% better because they're going directly into a phone call as soon as they see your advertising on Google or Microsoft Ads. And unlike these call-only ads, your landing page traffic will only convert about 3 to 10% of the time. So for every 100 visitors to your website, only 3 to 10 of them might end up entering their information to your landing page. Next, there's a huge amount of variability in optimizing your landing page. So for example, optimizing the header image on the landing page, or the header text, or the spacing of the buttons, or the locations of the buttons. All of these have huge variability on how well your landing page can convert. Unlike call-only ads, when you tap on them, which go directly into a phone call, a landing page might not necessarily convince in the trustworthiness of your website. So this involves a lot more optimization, and as well, SEO traffic sometimes is very unreliable. So Google or Microsoft might end up sending you completely untargeted traffic to your website. So for example, for our solar panel landing page, we might be getting traffic that comes for solar panels. It might not be coming from the geo-targeted locations where our service is located. So for example, we might only want to target California or a handful of other states, but we're getting traffic from other states within the US or other locations around the world. As well, we might not be getting the traffic that we need specifically for solar panels. In this case, we might be getting it for solar panel kits. So solar panels that people travel with on their backpacks, or solar panel batteries that people use for hiking around. And this traffic might end up coming to your website, which would be completely unrelated to your website itself. But once again, this traffic will ultimately be free. It will also allow us to capture desktop and tablet leads. And in the long run, you'll be building an authority within your niche that Google ends up liking more and more over time and keeps sending us traffic. So to begin, simply go to solarpanel-cost.com. Now, if you don't enter this parameter here at the very end, then you'll be automatically checked if you're a bot or if you're not a bot. But if this parameter at the end is appended to the URL, then this bypasses the bot protection and you can automatically end up going onto the website. And this is just a filter in order to prevent bots from, once again, going onto our website and entering fake information and using up our data resources as well as our call tracking platform. So let's go ahead and begin. All right, so to start creating our landing page, we're gonna go ahead and create a new website on our Cloudways hosting. Now, obviously this step you can completely skip if you have your own hosting provider, but I do highly recommend you start using Cloudways, because on Cloudways, you'll be able to create a website within just 2 minutes. And if you use the link in the description of this video, you'll be able to get 25% off on this hosting provider. But of course, you don't need to do this if you already have your hosting. So once you sign up to Cloudways, you'll be on the server page. Simply select the server that you've created. And then on the bottom right here, we'll select Add App. And then we'll create a new WordPress page. We'll name it whatever we want. So then add application. And then we simply wait about 2 minutes or so for the website to be created on our server. So I'll go ahead and pause this video for now. And at the top right here, you'll get a notification that your new website is up and ready. Now, keep in mind, if you need to know how to set up Cloudways as well as Cloudflare to connect your domain name to your server, that you can go ahead and check out one of my other tutorials on this channel as well. But let's go ahead and open up our new website that we just created. So to do that, simply hit www right here and scroll down to where your new website has been created. And once we're here, make sure to plug in your domain name into this section right here, as well as point your name servers to this section right here. So once again, there's a free tutorial on how to do that on this channel as well. But once we have the website all set up, then we simply go to access details. We'll open up the admin within WordPress, and then we'll go ahead and paste our login information to log into our server and log in. So now we have a completely fresh WordPress install ready for us to start setting up our OptimizePress installation. So here we are on OptimizePress.com. You can go ahead and watch the demo. You can read the reviews, etc., on how to build really nice looking landing pages. But for the most part, once you've gone through the purchase process, you'll get access to the dashboard. And within the dashboard, you'll have your downloads, your training, as well as your licensed sites. So these are the sites that we're going to go ahead and plug in our OptimizePress landing page creator to. So we'll go ahead and go to downloads, and we'll download the OptimizePress dashboard as well as the Optimize builder. So once those have been downloaded, let's go ahead and upload them to our WordPress. So we'll go to plugins, add new, upload plugin, go ahead and activate. Here it says we need to set up our permalinks in our settings. So let's do that really quickly. And we'll set it to post name, save changes. We'll go back to our plugins, add new. We'll upload the next file, which is the builder, and activate once again. And it looks like everything's good to go. So now we're going to connect our OptimizePress account and go ahead and connect. So now let's go ahead and start making our landing page. So just one quick thing we want to do is we'll go into settings. And here you'll see some backend settings, but for the most part, we'll simply want to go to affiliates and disable the affiliate link. So this link will not be visible on our website. Hit save, and then we'll select create new page. And we'll go to landing pages, and then we'll select authority landing page and use this template. We'll name it home, create page. And here we have the basic template of our page for the ease of developing. So let's start building out our page. So first we'll edit this, Control A, save time and money, find out I'll leave the geolocation tag for a separate video, but for now, this is what we'll use. And then to edit the size, we select the T here, size, and we can increase the size just a little bit. And then we're going to edit this text right here. So I'll select all that and paste in the text from the other landing page. And we're going to go ahead and take this button right here, and we're going to move it down just below the section, but it looks like we can't seem to put it below this entire area right here. So we're going to do undo, and we're going to figure out how to add a row. There we go. And then we'll once again drag this down. And we'll align it in the center. We'll edit the size of it slightly around. There we go. And then we'll put in a phone number, and then we'll add an icon. There we go. And then sizing. Everything's good to go. Increase the size just a little bit. And then we'll add the URL. So link URL, it'll be tell, and then 855-421-9986. We're going to go ahead and delete this section right here. We're going to select elements. We're going to go down to bullet block, and we're going to add this just below. We're going to change the color to white. I'm going to increase the bullet list spacing. And we're going to go back to our landing page. We're going to copy this. We're going to go to our lander and we're going to try to paste. But here you can see there's a slight problem with the pasting. And it looks like it's not allowing us to paste properly. So we're going to go ahead and copy this once more. And instead we're going to open up a notepad. And we're going to paste our text in here to clear out any formatting. We're going to copy once more and paste. So I'll go ahead and do that for the rest of them. And if you want to change the bullet listings themselves, you can go ahead and select one of the bullets and we'll select the bullet listing, and you can change the sizing. You can change the icon as well. So we'll just leave it at that. And then next up, we want to remove this fellow right here. So we're going to go ahead and delete, and we're going to go into elements and we're going to do video. So we're going to drag the video to the right. Click video settings. We're going to select YouTube. In the URL, we're going to paste our URL. So keep in mind, this YouTube video is not mine. I simply downloaded it from YouTube and used it as my own for the purpose of this tutorial. But make sure that if you use a video that you create your own for the purpose of not getting in trouble for copyright infringement, as well because you want to advertise your own brand. So Sunroof is not my brand. It's a brand from India, I believe. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and paste this video, and we're going to select this entire column right here. We're going to align it all in the center, and that should be good to go for this. Now we're going to go ahead and change the background image of this particular section. So to do that, simply select the outside section, and then we're going to select background options. And then for the image, I'm going to upload the image that I used for the landing page itself. And now the image has been uploaded. So make sure to go down and you select the size as full size. Otherwise, you'll get a very low resolution image. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's say, for example, it's automatically selected as medium. And then when you select insert into page, we'll increase the opacity here. And you can see it's a very low resolution. So we'll select replace image once more, and then we'll select full size. And there we go. And you can see that the entire section is being overshadowed by the background image. So we're going to go ahead and darken it just a little bit. I'd say 25 or 20% is appropriate for what we need. And select save. One more thing, we can adjust the settings for the video. So we'll select the video and we'll go to video settings and then advanced video settings. And then we'll disable player controls, and you can loop the video if you want, or you can even autoplay it if you want. But for the most part, this is fine for what we need. So next up, we'll add a little place noter right below here. So to do that, we'll do add element and then paragraph. And here we're going to make sure that the text is white so it's more visible. And then we're going to go ahead and delete all of this. And we're going to paste our text, and we're going to align it in the center. As well, we're going to go ahead and shrink the size of this particular area. So max width, we'll set it to pixels, and shrink the number of pixels that it should take up in general. And we can also do the same thing for this area. There we go. And that should be good to go. One quick additional change is we're going to decrease the amount of margin between our button. So we'll select our text here, advanced options, and then on the left side here, within the margin, we'll simply set it to 0. So it looks like the margin only decreases it from our text to the end of this header image. So we'll reset it, and we'll go ahead and select our button, and we'll try to adjust the margin on that. So we'll set that to 0. There we go. We have our phone number, and then right away, they know that if they call, they have the opportunity to save up to 50% on their energy bill. And select save. So this particular section I don't have on my lander, so I'm going to delete it in 1 second, but you can reword this text to use as an About Us section. And then you can add your image here as well. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just delete this section. And we're going to decrease the amount of space here just for our purposes. So we'll select Edit, and then above element, select something a little bit smaller, and then below element as well. There we go. So now we're just going to go ahead and start filling this information. And it looks like this information is a little bit too big, so we're going to edit the font size. And I'm going to start filling in these tidbits. So we're going to take that and 0 upfront cost. And I'll simply edit the icon here as well. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this video to edit the rest of these sections. All right, so unlike our lander, where we just have these very basic point bulletins, instead we're going to go ahead and use these icons. So the last section we don't need, so I'm going to delete that. And it looks like we're good to go. So next up, we want to add our free solar panel installation quotes today, this section right here. So in order to do that, we're going to create a new section. So we'll do add elements and new section. And we'll add a headline. And we'll add another section, which is going to be a row. And this row we're going to split into 2. And then finally a paragraph. So firstly, we're going to go ahead and change the background of this. So background color, a nice bluish tint. Then we're going to change this text right here and change it to white. And size a little bit bigger. And we're going to edit this text. We're going to edit the width. Good to go. And then we're going to start adding our buttons. So to add our buttons, we'll go down and we'll add our first. And we'll duplicate this. And we can just drag it over. There we go. Now we're going to limit the amount of space in between these 2 sections. So we're going to select our button and alignment. And it looks like we have an extra little bit of space. So we'll go ahead and go into advanced settings. And we'll select the entire section here. Advanced settings and column gutter. We'll remove that. So now our buttons are right next to each other. We're going to go ahead and edit the text. And here will be our phone call. All right. Change the font size. So let's go ahead and see what the font size was for our previous. And it'll be 28. 28, and 28. Now we're going to edit the roundedness of our buttons. And we're going to change the color. So this button is going to be orange, just like the one here. Select the color palette. We'll click on our background color. We'll copy this code. We'll go back down. And then we'll paste the code. And now for this one, we'll simply add a green color to it. And once again, we're going to add an icon. And finally, we're going to convert this into our call button. So once again, tell 855-421-9986. Now, this schedule appointment button doesn't inherently do anything unless we attach a function to it. So to do that, we have to create a pop-up. So we'll go ahead and click save first, and then we're going to create a pop-up that shows up when we click on this button. So to do that, we're going to go into the top left here and then create a new overlay. And for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm not going to cover how to create the callback function, but instead I'm just simply going to show you how to edit this form. So to do that, we'll edit that. We'll shrink the size. So it looks like we're not editing the full pop-up here. So we'll undo that. And at the top here, we'll select section, and we're going to go ahead and shrink that. So it'll be pixels. And looks like that's not doing it either. So once again, pop-up overlay, advanced, and then maximum width, we're going to shrink that down. There we go. And then style, and we're going to name it as our schedule appointment button or pop-up. Okay. And one more thing we want to do is we want to remove this link here. So we're going to remove the link. There we go. And hit close. And then we're going to go to our schedule appointment button. And we're going to select the link. And then for the action, we're going to select show pop-up overlay. And then we're going to do schedule appointment pop-up. And hit save. So when someone clicks on this, the pop-up will show up instead of nothing happening. So now that we have this section set up, there's two things that we could possibly do. Is one, we could make a similar button right up here and put it alongside and set up the margins once more. Or we can simply duplicate this and move it up to the very top and put it next to our button. And once again, set up the margins and move this down right below the row. Or, so we'll undo that. Or we can copy this whole section and move it up. And put it above our column. There we go. And then we simply have to click on that and delete. So now we have both of our buttons. And once again, when you click on this, it'll create that pop-up that we saw earlier. So let's go back to this section right here. We'll shrink the margins just a bit. There we go. And there we go. So we'll set that to 10 and set this to 10. So next, we're going to duplicate this section right here and move it right below this call functionality section. And then we're going to go ahead and delete some of these sections as well below. So we'll delete this. And in my lander, I'm not using this section, but of course you could use it if you wanted to. So we're going to go ahead and delete that. And then copyright solar panel 2021. Now we're going to go ahead and duplicate this. And we're going to move it right below. And now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this section as well, but we're going to make sure that anytime we make a change to this section, that it ends up affecting all of the other sections that are similar to this one. So to do that, we have to convert this into a global element. So we're going to right click and we're going to select mark as global, and we're going to name it as call function and submit and close. So now we're going to go ahead and duplicate. And we're going to drag this down. I'm going to put it right above here. And now I'm going to show you what I mean so that you understand. So for example, we want to edit this section. So we're going to unlock it first. Unlock global element. And we're going to make a slight change. So we're going to shift the margins for this a little bit higher. So we're going to select this section. We're going to shrink the size of it once more. We're going to make sure that there's not too much margin above it. So we're going to put it to 0. And this area right here, we're going to set to 0 as well for the bottom margin. Or rather, we'll just set it to something like 5. So it's not ridiculously too low. And then hit apply. So now it's going to save this global element, and it's going to apply it to all of the other sections that we have this exact same thing as well. So we'll scroll up and you can see that this was changed as well. We're going to actually limit the amount of space here. So one more time. There we go. And the width, we're going to shrink it down and select apply. All right. And once again, when we scroll up, it's also affected this section right here. Now, the reason that I duplicated this text area, this covering the benefits, is that I'm going to quickly cover how to source the content for this stuff for sections that are heavy in text. So one of the options that you have is, for example, spying on your competition and simply replicating what they have, especially if you're paying for search engine traffic and you don't care about search engine optimization initially. So to do that, we're going to go into our Facebook ads library. And here's our Facebook ads library where you can see all of the ads that are currently running within Facebook. And we're going to change the country to the United States. And here we'll type in solar. And we're going to go ahead and look at these 4 pages to see what's available. So it looks like they have a couple landers, a couple ads already running, and we're going to go ahead and simply copy and paste their content for the purposes of testing. Now keep in mind that when you copy and paste your content from another website or another source, Google will not display your site on their search listings. But if you intend to simply run your landing page through advertising by paying for the advertising, then Google has no problem showing your landing page. So here we can see the solar panel information, and then we'll select see add details. And we can select learn more. And then from their landing page, you can see that it's not really, it's more of a questionnaire kind of landing page. So this is not going to be useful for us. Let's go ahead and go back. We'll go ahead and try this one instead. And it looks like they're using the exact same strategy. So someone is gaming the Facebook system, or there's a few affiliates that are running this offer. Let's go back once more. And we'll go understand solar. And hopefully in this time, there's some actual content available. So once again, a questionnaire. So ultimately, this was the landing page that they had, and we can go ahead and source any of this material here. So for example, we can just copy and paste some of this content right here and post it as our own. And of course, changing any brand names or any specific locations to match our own as well. And of course, you can also go on Google. And here you can simply go and open up some of the big landing pages. And you can see that they have optimized their lander to collect leads as well. But for the most part, it's ultimately down to collecting the name and the phone number so that you essentially call the customer back. And then finally, one of the other sources for writing original content that could potentially be ranked by Google is to just hire a copywriter. And to do that, you go into Fiverr.com. Also, make sure to add a link in the description of this video, and you'll type in write copy. And then you'll set your budget to whatever you want. So let's say, for example, you only want to spend $10 maximum. And then you select whichever one you deem is most appropriate for your landing page and the niche that you're trying to run. All right, so now we're back on our landing page, and we're going to go ahead and conclude some of these sections. So the last things that we want to do is we want to create this type of area at the very bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and start creating that. And we'll do one more header. We'll add the phone number once more, but obviously this is not a requirement. And then we'll add a simple paragraph at the bottom, which includes our address and any information that could build the trust a little bit higher for our landing page. So I'm going to go ahead and paste the information from our lander. And this address does exist. It is from a particular company, but if you want, you can look it up. And we're going to go ahead and center all of this text. There we go. And the last two things we want to do is we want to build a privacy policy and a terms and conditions for our page. That's going to show up as a pop-up. So to do that, we'll simply select save. We'll exit back to our WordPress dashboard. And we're going to go into plugins and add new. Type in terms and conditions. And we're going to add this one, WP Auto Terms. Activate. We're going to go to WP Auto Terms. And then we're going to add a legal page. We're going to create a simple privacy policy. Here, what is your website URL? So solarpanelcost.com. You just paste the name as well, the country. We're going to write as United States. What is your company name? Can users create an account on your website? For now, no. What are we collecting? Name, email, and telephone. If required by law, we can just put yes. And there's our initial privacy policy. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do Control A, and we're going to copy this, and we're going to create a new page. So we're going to right click on Add New. We're going to go ahead and select this area right here, and we're going to do Control V to paste. And then Privacy Policy is the name of our page. We'll select Publish and Publish. So now we're going to exit this. All right, and our privacy policy is now available. And we'll edit it once more. And under page attributes, we want to change our template to blank template, OP3 blank template, and update. We'll go back, view our privacy policy. All right, so now all we need is this text right here. So next up, what we need to do, we need to install another very specific plugin. And to do that, we're going to go into Add New. And we're going to type in insert page. And this plugin will allow us to insert one of our pages into our pop-up. So to do that, simply select install now, activate, and under insert pages, here's the shortcode that we need. So insert page, we're going to copy this shortcode right here, copy, and we're going to go back to our landing page that we just created, and we're going to go to all pages, and then home. So in this case, we need the most recent one, which should be this one, presumably. Nope, that's not the correct one. So we're going to trash that. And we're going to go here. All right, so we're going to go back and edit with OptimizePress. And we're going to go ahead and create a new pop-up overlay. So create a new overlay. And in this case, we're going to rename some of this stuff. We don't need this. And we don't need this or this. Actually, let's undo that. Go ahead and create a new paragraph. And below the row, we're going to go ahead and paste our new shortcode. So it looks like it hasn't been formatted properly. So once again, we're going to undo. Open up our notepad, paste the code, copy that in. There we go. And then we finally can delete this section right here. And delete. And that should be good to go. We're going to select save. We're going to preview our lander really quickly. So select this little eye to preview. And save. And we're going to close this. And we're going to scroll down to our privacy policy. And we're going to add a link. And then the link is going to be a pop-up overlay. And then I believe it was overlay 3. So I forgot to rename it, but for the most part, it's the privacy policy. And select save. So now let's go ahead and preview our page. We'll scroll down and then hit privacy policy. So it looks like our text hasn't been properly loaded. So we'll go back to our pop-up. And I actually forgot to, so first we'll change the name, policy. And then the second part is that for the page, it needs to be privacy policy. So to get this particular code, you simply have to look at the URL of the specific page that you created. So we'll go back to our privacy policy and we'll select view. And here's our privacy policy. So based on the URL here, it's actually privacy-policy-2. So we're going to go back to our lander and we're going to edit this to 2. We're going to select save, preview, and we're going to scroll down and it looks like our privacy policy is now in effect. We can go ahead and add a couple margins here as well if we wanted to. So advanced. And then pixels. It doesn't need to be too much. There we go. So it's a little bit less. And one more time. Preview. And there we go. Now we have some margin. And then once again, let's go ahead and test our schedule appointment. That's good to go. So here you would put in the specific form for them to enter their phone number in order to get a callback. But for the most part, this is the basics of what we need to do. And for the terms and conditions, we can go ahead and go back to our terms and conditions plugin. So within our backend dashboard, we'll go ahead and add a new legal page. Create terms and conditions. solarpanelcost.com, United States, doesn't matter where, California. Can they create an account? No, none of this is our own. Do you want to be able to terminate access? Yes. 15 days notice. Create. And once again, we're going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to create a new page. Paste our content, terms and conditions. And then for our page attributes, I'm going to make sure the template is blank template. Select publish. And then we'll go back to our backend. We can see that the URL is terms-conditions. So we'll go back to our lander. Here we can copy this. Close. We're going to create a new overlay. Terms and conditions. And delete. And we're going to insert our text. So we're going to undo that, and we just need to insert our code from our plugin, our short code. So I forget what it was. So we'll go back to our installed plugins. Insert page. Copy this, paste it once more here, copy that, paste it, change this, terms, conditions, and delete the rest of this stuff. All right, hit save, close. We're going to select our terms and conditions text. And that should be good to go. We'll scroll upwards just to double check everything, and then we're going to go ahead and preview. So when they hit schedule appointments, we get the pop-up. When they select the phone number, they get a phone number pop-up as well. We'll scroll down. Everything should be in working order. And then at the very bottom, we have our privacy policy and our terms and conditions. I'm going to go ahead and limit the amount of space here at the top because I think it's a little bit too much. So we'll go back to our section and we'll edit, and then we're going to limit it to 0 and select save. And one final thing is we need to publish our page. So to do that, we're going to go into settings, page settings, and published. Homepage title, solar panel installation. We'll just copy that, paste that there. You can set the page featured image. So if someone shares this on Facebook or Google, they'll actually end up seeing the featured image. So we'll go ahead and insert that. And then when we visit our URL, looks like it's not yet set up within the reading settings to display as our homepage. So we're going to go back and we're going to exit this. We're going to go into settings and then reading, and then static page, homepage, solar panel installation. And then we're going to refresh our homepage once more. And there we go. So this is what the users should see when they end up seeing your homepage. So that concludes the creation of this landing page. And once again, I specifically focused on the call functionalities, but of course we also have the text here that you can implement or you can add or build as you see fit. The OptimizePress is perfect for building these 1 or 2 page landing pages to make them look as beautiful as possible. But ultimately, you don't necessarily need OptimizePress because even super average landing pages convert very well as long as they have a good call to action on them. And the call to action or the trust factor is based on how much marketing you do to your landing page, as well as how convincing your landing page is to the visitor. So now I'm going to show you how solarpanel-cost.com protects itself from bot traffic. I'm going to open up the site within incognito, and we're going to type in our URL. And what you'll see is you'll get this checking browser before accessing the website. So this section right here actually protects our site from any kind of bot traffic. Now I've actually set it up so that if there are good bots from Google or Microsoft or even your IP address, then it gets to go through that particular filter. But if there's any bad bots that we don't want, then they actually get stopped and they don't end up entering any of their information within any of these sections, especially here, for example, where it's even less protected. Because they don't have to click on anything, they would just typically fill these out with fake information and then they would submit it. Or there are bots now that actually end up clicking your call function and they end up going through the phone call and you still get charged for the first minute of that phone call. So by using that feature that I just showed you, we can protect ourselves from bots. As well, we're going to put a hard limit on this page to block us completely from viewing it if you don't want affiliates from viewing your landing page. So if a user is blocked from accessing our website, then they'll actually end up seeing this error unless they fit a specific criteria to view our landing page. And this tutorial is available through the advanced training on ppcbasic.com. So you can go ahead and sign up if you want to learn how to set this up as well. As well, within the advanced training, I'll make sure to show you how to implement this geolocation tag and how to set up the schedule appointment in order for it to give you a callback. And that's available in the advanced PPC basic training. So let's go ahead and conclude our tutorial with a review. So we covered the benefits and limitations of our call lead generation. This includes getting free search engine optimized traffic gradually and steadily over time from Google, but our landing page is not going to convert as effectively as call only ads. But of course, over time, you're going to get free traffic. So that's a plus, just having the desktop and tablet version of your landing page up and running. Then I showed you our landing page, which utilizes OptimizePress. I explained to you the sections, specifically the call sections, where they can click on the phone number to go into a phone call, or they can enter their information in order to get an automated phone call back, or they can enter their information to get an automated callback to their number from one of your agents. And then we set up our WordPress site very quickly using Cloudways. So it involved a very simple 2 or 3 clicks to set up our WordPress site on Cloudways. Make sure to use the link in my description if you decide to go with Cloudways. And then we installed and set up OptimizePress. And then we started building our landing page as well as building out our sections. I showed you some very quick and simple ways to source your content, whether it's through spying on Facebook ads or going through Google content and just scraping their content from there, or ultimately producing your own content by hiring a copywriter to create original content for your site, because ultimately the original content is what's going to get us the SEO traffic. And then we created our privacy policy and terms and conditions, which is a must-have if you're going to create landing pages for Google Ads advertising. And then we connected it to our pop-up system. So when they click on the links, they see the pop-up for these particular things. And then we did a quick double check of everything to make sure that everything works. And then I explained to you the bot protection system that I have in place, because when you get bots that are not from Google or not from YouTube or not from Microsoft coming to your site, those are typically bots that are completely useless for our purposes, and they end up messing up the analytics on our site. And then ultimately you can use this same exact process to prevent people from spying on your site while at the same time allowing bots to enter your site. And then finally, a review. So if you're interested in learning how to set up the automated callback function on your website, then feel free to join the Advanced Pay-Per-Call and Internet Marketing Strategies on ppcbasic.com. There you'll ultimately get a link to sign up for the course where I'll show you how to set up that more advanced functionality. As well, within the training, you'll be able to learn how to block your website from bots, block your website from bad bots, as well as how to protect your site from other affiliates spying on it in case that's what you want to do. And by signing up, you also get access to the VIP Facebook group And you can feel free to message me within the Facebook Messenger or leave a comment in this YouTube video, and I'll make sure to get back to you. So once again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed that really long video, and I will see you in the next video. Salut!